There are numbers of other investors generating very high returns during certain periods, but no one can compete with Buffett. People may wonder how Buffett accumulates so much wealth with more than 30 years' annual average returns below 20% and only once achieved annual returns above 50% during his 57-year investing careers. Buffett used to conclude his investing secret as, life is like a snowball. The important thing is finding wet snow in a really long hill. And the power behind snowball effect is compounding. Accumulating wealth is like rolling snowball. Compound interest is simply the conversion of every cent of profit into principal for reinvestment. That is, interest rolls over and money grows. As the compound interest graph shows, it grows slowly at the beginning, but once reaching the inflection point, it will grow rapidly. The secret of Warren Buffett's wealth growth is not the preservation of profits for 1 or 2 years, but a constant and steady compounding. As a mathematical phenomenon, seemingly small amount of time by small annual return differences compounded over time will result in significant differences in the amount of money at the end of the period. Considering a 20-year-old young man starts investing with $10,000, if he can guarantee a 20% annual return, he can have $91 million at the age of 70. Isn't it magic? Loss, the worst enemy of compounding. The logic of compound interest is easy to understand. However, it is too difficult to keep constant profiting. Numerous investors can achieve the annual return of 20%, but only Buffett throughout the world. Other investors have an enemy, and that is loss. Why is loss the worst enemy of compounding? Let's do the math. The sharper the stock drops, the harder it will rise back up. For example, a 20% retraction requires 25% gain to make it up, while a 30% retraction requires as high as 43% of gain to make it up. Moreover, the subtle differences in return on investment can show up dramatically over time. Let's assume investor A and investor B both start with $10,000. The annual return of investor A is 100% in odd-numbered years and minus 40% in even-numbered years. And investor B keeps the annual return at 20%. The end result is that the former has a compound annual return of only 9.54%, while the latter remains at 20%. The greatness of Buffett is that he has only had 2 years of negative returns in his investing career and kept them within 10%. The first time was when he was 71 years old, when the internet bubble burst in 2001, but the drop was only 6.2%. The other was in 2008, when the global financial crisis hit and his net worth fell by 9.6%. It is not difficult to understand Buffett's quote when explaining his success. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. Buffett invests only in companies he thoroughly researches and understands, within competence, circle and margin of safety. And Buffett continuously keeps cautious of financial leverage and holds large amounts of cash to mitigate risks, so that he would take the bull and bear markets in stride. So if you want to do well in compounding, then you have to keep calm and remain disciplined during market ups and downs. Last but not least, controlling losses. Got it?